Oh, why do I forget this? What is going on with me? I don't know what is up with me. It's like been the last 4 weeks in a row. I just can't hit that ahead of time. I'm just so anxious to go live. I forget my intro for 4 weeks in a row. But how
Your
are you guys
intro's
doing
sick.
out there in chat? Wait, I went right to point wrong way. We got Lauren Gray from Multiplayer Morphs. How you doing tonight?
Hello. Good. How are you?
I'm not so bad. I just got over the flu, so I mean, I'm not great. I mean, as I usually am, because I'm always like, but tonight there's not going to be no, it's going to kind of be mellow. That's all you're going to get out of me
Eh.
tonight. See? Look, I'm getting too hyper, starting to cough. But we got quite a few people out there in the chat right now, so we're going to do some shout outs. We usually wait. But I'm like, there's 10 right away. That's awesome. Like, thank you guys. There are like 4 or 5 other reptile podcasts going on, and I got 10 right away. Like, awesome. Thank you guys. You guys rule. Like, Stan, my brother, RWO brother Stan, like Mr. Cool Mofo 4 weeks in a row. What is up, dude? So I don't know if you know about that, but I do this thing called Cool Mofo. And what I do is I count all my comments onto shorts, and I like do most comments is the cool mofo of the week. Second most comments, the second most cool mofo of the week. And third, I only do 3, but there's usually like 5 or 6 because, people tying and stuff. But Stan's been cool mofo for the last 4 weeks in a row. Victory Lane, what's going on, dude? This dude right here is a cool mofo. He's been on the list, Mr. Don D. We already know.
I watched him on his live on Celtic Balls last night.
Yep. Robin, how's it doing, buddy? What's up, Lakers? How's it going? Lakers has been like a supporter of mine since day one. He's just been here. Tammy, too. How's it going, Tammy? Thanks for coming in. John, haven't seen you around, but you rock, dude. Thanks for coming in. What up, Morbid? How's it going, dude? Thanks for coming in. Mr. Greenline J. I got that way. He's like one of the sponsors of my show. So, Jay, Greenline Morphs, was Blue Zombie. How's it going, dude? Like, this guy here, he's like, you know what? I want to be on that cool mofo list. So he's like carrying on a conversation with me in the chat. So that's getting your numbers up on my shorts. I think you got it. I think next week he might be a cool mofo. He might dethrone you, Stan, so you better watch out. He's coming for you. Chat's popping, but we finally got caught up. All right, we're going to go back up here, though. All right, we're caught up. So I'm not sure if you know how I do things around here, but basically what I do is I go look on the Morph Market news, because who really reads the news on Morph Market? Not too many people. Like, I don't know.
I know I don't religiously, but
a person here or there might say I gander at it. So I report on it. I thought of this ideal, what is this, episode 34, probably about 34 weeks ago, something like that. I've been doing it since day one. And there was a report on like the Tenley show. And what you could see on there basically is you can log on, like, and they had this posted before the Tenley show, but you could log on there and you could see what vendors are where. There's like a vendor's map, and you could actually buy animals like off the tables, like right online. Wow. You could see the deals that are going on at Tenley, what's going on at Tenley. I mean, now there wasn't everything there. I think there was only 22 ball pythons listed. I know there was more than 22 at the show. But if people, realize that, like, and start seeing that they're doing this, and say 75% of the Tenley show is represented, like online as well, I mean, you pick up some pretty
cool.
good deals.
Yeah. Would
So
save you
I
the
think
travel
that's,
too.
yeah, then you don't have to travel. I mean, you pay $60 shipping, but you're going to spend more than $60 on gas. I mean, we're both from PA. It would probably take us, I figured $200 in gas there and back driving, and probably a little less. I exaggerate. I mean, my Subaru Legacy gets awesome gas mileage, especially on the highway. So they're talking about Don's costume. I don't know. Did you see that?
I did. It was
I
pretty
call
good.
it the purple shade of Dawn. That's my like, name for it.
It was pretty awesome.
You want an elbow cough, Will? I'll give you an elbow cough. That's funny. Like when someone does the dab, like in the thing, it shows elbow cough. So here's your elbow cough, Will. What's up?
That's
Thanks for
funny.
coming in. Charlie, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming in. I got a sponsorship thing working out with Charlie, but I'm really close to the first tier of monetization. I'm kind of waiting, to add some sponsors to the show until I get that monetization. I've been kicking some butt on watch hours. I think I'm below 400 now, but like last week I needed over 500, and just, I've asked some people to watch and been putting it out there, and people's watching. So there's that dang rat. I have a rat loose in the house, and it's getting pretty big, and I just seen it.
That's always a good time.
Right. If you go back and watch like maybe 10 episodes ago, it's like when it first got loose. Now it's things like this. It's like this big. It's probably like 8 inches. And like, yeah.
It started out as a small, and now it's at like medium size.
Yeah. It started out as, a wing. You know what I mean? It wasn't even small. But it like, I put it down in the tub, and it looked at the snake and just zoomed out, like, and jumped out the tub. And I almost had it. Then it slipped out my hand, and I got it again, and it bit me, and I dropped it, and it took off.
Oh.
So, like, and it's been on the loose ever since. I've ordered one of those humane traps, but I don't know. Amazon's taking forever to get here.
Oh, man.
Synergy, what's up, dude? That dude right there, if I haven't told you before, is a really cool dude. David from Synergy Morphs, he's just a cool dude. All right, where am I at even? Oh, my God.
We got distracted by an escaped rat.
Yeah, well, I was sitting here, and I seen something moving, and I'm like, there it is. Not even a mofo. He's a big mofo now. All right, I can't read with my glasses on that close. So, like the community topics that I wanted to talk about, because that's all that was in the news, was about Tenley, is like, I really wish this togetherness that we witness at shows happened all time. Because it's just like, you see everyone coming together at these shows, everyone hanging out, and it looks like such a good time. And then you come on, to YouTube, and there's always some kind of drama starting. I'm like, come on, guys, really?
Were you in middle school?
Yeah, are we? I mean, maybe high school. I mean, just like a line's got to be drawn somewhere, and just, there's no room for it. Like, I don't know. I don't choose sides of drama. If two people like have a problem, I stay neutral. So that's cool, Charlie. Thanks for stopping in, dude. Go do that shed testing. We all need to get hold of Charlie for that. All right. So yeah, I mean, the togetherness you see like on these, pictures and Instagram and all this, it's just something that I think we should really try to do full time instead of just, at these shows. Like, you don't got to be everyone's best friend. Just don't be a dick to anyone. That's like one of my favorite sayings of this.
Just all got to get along for a little bit.
Did you see anything to do with the grappling matches at High Desert? put on?
I was seeing videos and stuff on Instagram. I saw Tyler from Tyler's Toxic Balls was getting a lesson taught to him.
Well, I mean, he actually won that one, but I
Oh,
mean,
did he?
Little Ray, yeah, Little Ray was putting up a fight, though. I'll say that that was Alluring Serpent's son, Ray, and like,
Ah.
yeah, that little dude was going. I mean, that's a good one. I'll say that was one of the best ones there. What up, Mac?
Mac.
Thanks for coming in. But I think we should really start to do more like that. I mean, it don't have to be grappling matches. Like just at all these big NARBC shows. There we go. NARBC. These bigger NARBC shows. I think we should put on some kind of, something. Like, like I said, it just don't have to be a grappling match. Something at every show just to start to pull that togetherness in.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a really cool idea that Antoine had.
Yeah, and then they hugged afterwards. I mean, like, it was great. I mean, Paul talked all this crap like he was going to beat Kevin's from Sugar Skulls, and it was a draw. And he was sitting there going, "Come on, is it over yet?" So I thought that was great. I'm going to talk shit on him when I see him. Bud Fouls. How's it going? Sorry about that. I'm sure there'll be a couple of those through the show tonight.
It's all good, man. I get it.
But yeah, I think there should be more of that coordinating these, these extracurricular activities at these big shows. I think it would do a lot for the community.
I agree. Bring a lot more togetherness.
Yeah. Oh, Will, you did great. Quit putting yourself down so much. Have some confidence in yourself. You're an awesome dude. Just, have some confidence. Yeah, I don't know. I have her turned up a little bit. She was really low in the beginning. They're saying your mic's a little low.
Any better? Maybe I'm too far away from my mic.
There, I turned you up all the way in mine.
Okay. I'll sit a little
There.
closer so it's not so quiet. Whoops. I'm just not centered. There we go.
But another thing that I heard about the Tenley show is there just wasn't that much buying going on. Not many people was buying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a lot of window shopping and not too many people buying. What do you think the issue is with it? Like, why do you think there's not that many animals being bought?
I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with the economy right now.
Right.
We're already there. But people are being more careful where they're putting their money, and they're not whatever to blow on a snake like they used to back during the pandemic days when everybody was just sitting around, not the same as it used to be. I think, at least to me, that's what it seems like.
Right.
But
what's up, Gage? You're cutting in and out too.
I wonder why.
It's like every time you go to speak, we hear your first words and then we hear your last words.
I wonder why that's happening.
I don't know. I tell you, it better not be my stuff, because I just had Xfinity out here for the 4th time in a week, and they ran all brand new wires from the pole to my house, all the way around my house, into my house. So
I closed down all of my other tabs, so hopefully that'll help. I don't know if it's my computer.
You sound good now. You're not cutting out now. But
okay, we'll go
so
with
that probably what it was. It's all good. I think it's just simply due to how many people jumped into this, like, during the COVID, and we're just now seeing the effects of more steaks basically being made than there is, people to buy. And I think we're going to see these effects for the next 2 or 3 seasons. But I mean, eventually it's going to bounce back. I mean, I just hatched my first 2 clutches and I got my 3rd one coming. And I don't think I could stay away from this for long. This is just too damn fun.
Yeah.
It's just too damn fun. And I know if I had to back out of it for a little bit because of financial reasons or whatever, it wouldn't be too long before I'd want to be back in.
Yeah. I definitely, like, I've talked about slimming down, and I can't do it. I can't bring myself
Right.
to try to even sell anything, because I love all my animals too much, and the hobby itself is just so dang addicting.
I got to cut down some of my double recessive projects. I have like 9 of them right now, and I'm trying to keep a smaller collection. Like, I don't want 100 snakes. So I'm going to have to cut down some of my double recessive projects. And it's like I'm sitting there going through, and I got to say bye to that female. I got to get rid of that. I really like that female. I just can't. But I want to work this more, and I want to work that more. But, it just sucks. But I mean, I think it is a good thing to kind of focus your area, and the next couple seasons, especially, like really tone in, like, 4 or 5 double recessive projects. And then when the market does bounce back, like, if you tone that in to where you have, like, for instance, like a super or an allelic double recessive animal that's, breeding for you, like, that's going to be, what a lot of people are looking for, I feel. Like, because when you breed them, you know what's coming out. There is no normals, and they're just cool animals. I love my allelic combos.
Yep.
And my supers as well. Supers are cool, but they're just not as cool as allelic combos to me. But yeah, I just think, I the next thing that I said is, what do you think will solve this? And I think that the simple answer to that is time.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little time, like, for all
We gotta
this to
wait it
cycle
out.
through. Yep. Just all this to cycle through, and, all these extra animals to disappear, and, and these bigger companies too, to cut back a little bit, because, these companies have been doing this for years and years and years and years and years and years. They've seen a spike. So it's like, all right, instead of our normal 20 clutches a year, we're now going to do 50 or 60 clutches a year. So that also led into this, abundance of animals. And it's like, it's going to be tricky to really gauge, especially people that's newer into this, like me, gauge to what to do every year.
Yeah. Basing where the market's sitting and what everybody wants. But
Exactly.
it's at the same time working what you want and what you like. It's not, you have to play that even balancing act.
I agree. Supers with allelics is the future, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You got to add some recessive to that too. I mean, like, supers and allelics without recessives will still sell, I think, because you won't make normals. But if you have a single or a double recessive to a super allelic animal, you're going to have, like, you're going to have a winner there, a guarantee
Mm-hmm.
winner. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make supers. I'm trying to make allelics, and then into recessives, and
Mm-hmm.
as much as I can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's big into the recessives and the allelics and stuff right now. That's what I'm seeing going. If there's anything going,
right.
is anything recessive. Whoop! You just muted yourself.
I thought I muted myself blowing my nose. But Dave, I 100% agree with that statement, that about 95% of this hobby don't. Recessives are the supers. And what he means by that is, like, if you look at, like, a super yellow belly as the single recessive form, like, it's the same thing. It's a double copy of that gene.
Yep.
And we had this debate probably 4 or 5 times on my channel that I look at like a single gene pastel as like the same genetic wise as a het clown, and it is. And people just don't understand that. Like, no, it's not the same. You can't see the het. Well, that we know of, you can't see the het. I'm sure 20 years down the road, you're going to be able to pick the hets, from a mile away because we're going to know what to look for. And I don't know. Someone taught me that right in the beginning that, a pastel is just like a het form of a clown or a desert ghost or whatever. And the super is just like the visual of the recessive. And after you look into it genetically, it's the same.
It makes it easier to understand, too, whenever you look at it like that. Because, I mean, I know when I first got into it, the genetics were kind of complicated in my brain, and it didn't quite click. But somebody kind of explained it like that to me, too. And that's when the light bulb went off, and it was like, oh, okay, I understand now.
You're right, Will. I mean, I'm kind of jumping into double recessive, but I'm also doing allelic and supers, so I'm kind of doing both. See, look, it's not the same, Ken. I love it. All right, we spent about we're a little over 20 minutes. You ready to start getting into the questions?
I'm ready when you are.
This is like the best part of the show because, like, I'm going to start saying the best questions in the podcasting game because at least 10 of my guests have told me that. So I'm going to start advertising it. If, all of my guests are saying it, then I got the best questions in the game, mofos. Haha. Introduce yourself. How long have you been in the game?
So my name is Lauren Gray. I am from Multiplayer Morphs. I've been into ball pythons since 2018, I believe. Like the beginning of 2018 is when I got my first pair, and was hooked ever since. I've been hooked ever since.
I actually got in
later.
I actually got in after COVID. Like I missed the whole COVID money. I wish I would have started during COVID because I would have a couple nights of snakes. But my daughter came to me, since all these people were putting out these videos and saying, "Dad, you got to look at these videos," and I fell in love. And now that's kind of what I'm doing is building this for them, with them. I got 2 of my daughters that absolutely love it. The third one, the youngest one, she kind of don't see the big picture yet, but it's been a win-win for me since day one. So, but what's your normal day like?
So right now I'm in between jobs, so I have a lot more time to spend in the room, which is nice.
Right.
I get to wake up every day and come in here and work with my animals. I'm either cleaning rat tubs or cleaning snake tubs or just admiring my animals most of the time. I spend a good 2 to 3 hours at least in here a day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's been, while being in between jobs isn't nice, being able to be around my animals more makes me happy. So
it definitely keeps your mind more focused and keeps it from wandering. Like I know where I was before this, and I know where I am into this. And I'd say about 3 months into this, I'm just sitting there saying, I love where I'm at in life. I love doing this. Like, I didn't think that I would love it this much, but I actually love doing this. I mean, these things, they keep me on my toes. Like the ones that are mean, they still scare me. They put a little excitement, like not deathly scared, but I jump all the time like a little wussy. But they just keep me alive. They let me know. Like I've been a thrill seeker all my life, and now I find something that I can open up a drawer and be like, there's that thrill. It's just great. I love it. So where could everyone find you at? What's your social media platforms?
I'm pretty much on everything. So I have Facebook, I have Instagram, which I'm most active on. I have YouTube, and I have TikTok. but I haven't been as active on the last two recently just because of my previous job, but I'm hoping to get back into that more over the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So I'm trying to build my YouTube up slowly, but
It's hard. It's a tricky thing. Like, I mean, we touched base with, you know, YouTube lives and stuff last week on my Thursday show, and it's not getting any easier because there's more people coming. You know, there's
mm-hmm.
more people joining every day. What up, Ledka? How's it going? The more people that comes, the less rooms that's out there, the less people you have in your chat, the harder it is to get your watch hours. It's tricky.
Yep.
So, what is a short-term goal of yours with the reptiles? Say the next 1 or 2 years.
I look at it. I looked at that question more as like, where do I want, like, what kind of animal do I want to produce? In my brain, that's where my brain went with that. And I'm hoping to produce a triple recessive in the next year or two.
Right.
So I'm shooting for a lavender clown pied within the next
Awesome.
year or two. Yeah. So that's probably my short-term goal.
Nothing wrong with that. I actually have Blade, het clown, het lav, het pied that went to my male normal het clown pied lav, and I'm expecting eggs from her 2 months ago.
Well, that's exciting though. Like triple recessives.
Yeah, I mean, I just went het to why not? You know what I mean? Like, why not try one? I found the animals for a nice price, so why not give it a go?
Oh, Will, I think something happened with her in her personal life. I'm not really sure. I wasn't the one that really had contact with her. Um, but she, I think, was having a baby and life got crazy. And I think she ended up not taking most of those animals or like trading them off to somebody else. I don't remember what happened, honestly. It feels like it was so long ago.
170 out of 100 snakes.
It's something like that. She had bought a
Crazy.
lot of spots in the spin to win. Like a lot of spots.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And literally every time we spun, I was in charge of the wheel and my brain was exploding. I'm like, every time it was this lady that won almost every single time, and everybody was they were like, this is rigged, and I'm like, no, it's not. I made the wheel, I promise.
Those
She just bought a lot of
wheels,
spots.
those wheels, I won't do them when I do giveaways because they have a tendency to stick to the same person. Like, I mean, it didn't even happen there. Like, there's been other people that, you know, were in big prizes and, you know, one person won like 4 or 5 of the bigger prizes, you know, and it's just like, no, they didn't get 70 out of 100, but, you know, they won 4 or 5 things, and then there's, you know, 80 people that didn't win nothing, and there's one that won 2 or 3. I don't know. Them wheels, I don't like them. They seem to stick to the same people.
Yeah, I know that when we did that, like, that's how we did our spin to wins, and I just know that lady had bought over, gosh, she bought at least 150 spots, I swear. I don't
How
know
much
where
were the
she came up
spots?
with the money. It was like 10 a spot. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
he spent 1,000 on it. Wow, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, she got her money's worth, that's for sure.
Yeah, but she ended up not taking anything. So,
Wow.
yeah, she just
Then
basically
what do you
donated
do?
all of that out of the kindness of her heart, and because I know
Well,
she's not in the hobby anymore. Like, I haven't seen her. I don't even remember her name, like, off the top of my head, but she hasn't been in the hobby for over a year since then.
wow.
Like, that happened right afterwards, so it was before
Crazy.
she could even get any of the animals shipped to her.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a small fortune to get 70 animals shipped to you.
Yeah. And
I mean,
some of them were shipping included and some of them weren't. So that would have been a little bit of a pretty penny.
I
Getting
mean,
all those
70
animals in.
times 50 is what, 3,500? because the average shipping
Yeah,
cost is like 70. 7 times 5, 35. Add the zeros, 3,500. So I mean,
yeah.
wow,
It was crazy. Definitely rigged.
rigged. So what is a long term goal? Like, so let me put this in the way your brain took it. What do you see yourself producing in, say, 8 to 10 years?
A lot of stuff with Monarch. Um,
I
I
like I like Monarch, but I couldn't afford it. I'm Ultramel guy.
Yeah, I like Ultramel too. I don't have any visuals at the moment, but
Right,
my Monarch projects are where I'm at. I went about it buying hets and making my visuals out of hets,
right,
and it's been a ride. I'm hoping to make pieds. I'm hoping to make clown. I want to put it into paint.
right,
Um, I want to put all the recessives into it and see what it does.
right. That's just it. I want to put it to everything. Like I can't just say I want it to go to this or this or this. I want it to go to this. Like everywhere. Like it's so hard to narrow that down to what you really want to work. But I mean, when you're working with a smaller collection, like I don't know, I would rather have say 25 like really nice animals than 80, ones that are filled with hets. So I'm going to be narrowing down, but we'll get there sooner or later. Right now, I got some visuals, some hets. We just need to put them all together. All right, where are we at? All right, now we get into a little bit of the fun questions. So, what superpower do you wish you could have? And while you answer this, I'm going to blow.
Okay. Um, I've always wanted to be able to talk to animals, like kind of like Beast Boy in a way. Yeah. Be able to talk and communicate with my animals that way I can prevent them from biting at me or whatever. Or just to know what they're thinking would be kind of cool.
Nice. Like that. I've never heard that one before. That would definitely be interesting. Open that drawer and it's like, motherfucker, I'm going to bite you. All right, that one's going to be shut.
You just tell by the look on their face. It's not like you wouldn't think snakes could have like facial
Yeah.
expression, but I swear you can look at them and you know when they're in a mood.
Yep. Yep. I mean, absolutely. I know what you're saying. I could open the drawer and I could tell you what that snake's like going to do. Like if it's going to be chill, like keep it open. If it's not, then it just goes shut again.
You
Right?
just get to go back to bed.
Yep. You just go back in there. We're not going to mess with you today. Your cage, it ain't that bad. Wait till tomorrow.
Ooh,
All right.
rainbow would be cool. The rainbow's something I've been wanting to get into for a while too.
Yeah, Stan's getting into it. So my buddy Stan, I'm sure he'll be sending some my way someday. We'll get into something. But what is one snake that you are trying to make with what you have now?
Right now it would be the lavender clown pie, the Holy Grail,
Right.
and I'm
I mean
hoping to make one of those in the next year.
that that's why I went for it, because the Holy Grail. Like, I mean, who don't want a Holy Grail? You know what I mean? Just the name of it, makes you want it. But it's one of the projects that I want to cut because I like lavender clown better. I don't know.
Mm,
I got live clown stuff too, and I'd rather hang on to it than the live clown pie. After me being into this, like I'm looking at Pied as kind of like it ruins other double recessive projects. Like if you put it with anything, it still just looks like a Pied. It don't really do much to it. So I'm trying to take Pied out of all my doubles and triples and just leave it by itself, because you want to make Pieds and stack, stuff on top of it, because Pieds are what's going to sell at shows.
yeah.
And blue-eyed Lucy's and albinos and all that, all that normal stuff. Like, that's going. I don't think it's ever going to go away. I think that's going to be the blueprint of what sells at, your lower end shows or even the bigger end shows. They're still going to sell because they're cheaper steaks, and it's what's going to pay the bills. It's what's going to feed your animals. So you kind of, well, for free anyway. So you kind of need to have that end of the market. In my opinion, I don't know. I could be wrong. I could just be a blabbering idiot. I've been known to do that a time or two.
No, I think you're pretty close on that. Like, that's usually the kind of stuff that I see at my local shows too. Is like the pieds, the albinos, single gene stuff. Like, that's what most pet buyers that a lot of people. It's what a lot of people are going to these expos. That's what they go for, because I mean they're not going to spend $1,000 on a black pastel yellow belly pied, they're whatever, they're gonna spend $300 on a single gene pied because
right.
It's pretty.
Right. I think that's another thing. There's a lot of these single gene pieds that has like the old school mentality rule of thumb: if in doubt, leave it out. And they're calling a normal pied because they don't have no clue if it has a gene or two in it. So they're just calling it a normal. And I think a lot of pieds have a gene or two in it, but no one could really be sure that it's in it, until it's bred out. And then you're still not even that sure, because if you don't know what's in it, how are you going to identify it?
Right.
Later, Jay. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Ultralab.
Yeah, that ultraviolet. I mean, we was talking about that the other night. And ultraviolet is a Hayabusa rainbow, but a Hayabusa rainbow clown, which would be a super hurricane rainbow clown. Wow. Oh, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I would too. That would be really sick.
I'd love to see it. So what is one animal you would like to add to your collection?
The biggest one right now would probably be a monarch pied. I love how monarch and pied work together. They just look so beautiful to me. And every time I see one on one of the Facebook groups, there's a guy, I think his name is Lars, and he posts them all the time. He produces them every year, and they look amazing. So that's probably like my number one wish of a snake right now.
Oh, that's an Ultralab. See, all right. I misread that. I thought he was talking about that one that he was talking about the other night, but no, he was talking about an Ultralab clown, which is an ultramale lavender clown. But I'm dyslexic anyway, Dave, so I see what I want. I'm still stuck on that ultraviolet stuff that you was talking about the other night. What's up, Elias? How's it going? Thanks for coming in, dude. Where are we at now? All right. So how did you get into reptiles? Do you have any mentors?
When I first started into ball pythons, I was watching a lot of YouTube, and I came across Brian Barczyk's videos, and this was back when he was doing like the genetic stuff and really like working deep with the ball pythons. This was before the Reptarium, and I got hooked on his passion, and seeing all the different morphs and stuff, it just blew me away. And blue-eyed Lucy's and pandapides were like the two things that like sucked me right in. So, yep, watching him and talking about all the different morphs and genetics and stuff, that sucked me in and got me hooked.
Yeah. It was their video his video that my daughter showed me that really got me into it. And then like F&A's, one of their video, Fred and AJ from F&A Balls, I seen them and like I related to them, you know what I mean? Because they kind of look like, I don't want to throw like personality traits out there, but they kind of reminded me of myself a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I could be that guy, you know what I mean? And like, it took off from there. Yeah, I'm still stuck on that, Dave. We talked about that the other night. Like, I want to see it.
That'd be really pretty.
All right. All right. So, what three people that have passed would you like to have a dinner with?
Oh man, this was a hard one for me. Steve Irwin's the number one. That
Awesome.
was the first one that came to my mind.
You're the
Um,
first person to say him. Nice.
really.
Yep.
Yeah, I was a big Steve Irwin fan growing up as a kid, and when he died,
Crikey.
I cried. I cried.
That's an angry bugger.
um, the other two would probably have to be my grandparents.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
they were great people, and I miss them. So just to have one more conversation with them as an adult would be nice.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Yep. So, next question is what five people who are still alive would you like to have with you on a deserted island?
Oh man, um, this was another hard one. So obviously my husband, my
Obviously.
mom, uh, my best friend and mentor Nikki from Mutation Station. Um, oh gosh, thinking of two more. I was struggling. Um, guess we'll go a little off the rails. Taylor Swift just to have entertainment.
Okay. Yep. Why not?
um,
So you're a Swifty then?
yeah, well, not hardcore, but I like her music.
Right on.
Um,
Right on.
and then I don't know, Brian Barczyk, I guess that would be pretty cool.
Cool. Better hope one of you's no survivalist skills. That's all I'm saying, just for your sake.
Yeah.
I hope you've got survival skills. Ah. So, what is one thing that you would like to teach the people who don't like our reptiles about our pets?
I try not to shove the animals down people's throats who aren't afraid of them, who are afraid of them. Sorry, but yeah, Nikki, because she's ex-military and she'd kick ass.
What's up, Smith? Thanks for coming in.
But I try to show people that they're not the demons that they're portrayed to be in the
Oh, good,
media.
dude.
A lot of media portrays snakes as these horrible demons that'll come and chase after you and eat your kids, and we all know that's not true. So I try to show, like, look how pretty they are, look at the pretty colors, look at the pattern. Like, I try to work on that first, and then eventually move into, here, hold this one. This one's super friendly. He has never done a thing. I can kiss this thing on the mouth and he wouldn't do anything. So,
I got one of them.
Yep.
Yep. My clown male. That snake. I mean, he reminds me of the personality of my dog. There's not a mean bone in that snake's body. He is just so friendly. He is so welcoming. Like when I open his drawer, he don't fly out, but it's just like he looks towards the opening and he's slowly crawling out. If I put my hand there, he would crawl onto my hand, up onto my arm. Like just, he has no fear of me. He's my buddy. I don't know. Like when I had my rack set up next to my bed, I used to keep him in the drawer next to me. And I could crack that drawer, and that snake would pop its head out and sit there and watch TV with me. I loved it. I mean, I don't think he really knew what was going on, but I think the movement of the TV just kind of fascinated him because he'd get fixated on it and just like, wouldn't move, wouldn't flick his tongue. He'd just be looking like a statue at the TV. And I just thought it was so cool.
That's pretty funny.
Yep. So what is one piece of advice that you would like to go back and give your 18-year-old self?
Oh man, it would have to be getting to ball pythons now, not when you're 26.
Yeah, I mean, I had an iguana around the age of, I think it's 18, 19, maybe 20. And I would definitely tell myself, dude, get into reptiles now. Like now. Stay in it. Don't don't let that your iguana dying discourage you. Because like it got out and it climbed up into a heater vent and I couldn't find it. And it discouraged me from getting into the reptiles again. But I mean, I had that thing trained pretty good. Like I'd take it out and set it on the living room or the kitchen table with us in the mornings, and we'd sit there and feed it. Like we'd have our eggs and coffee or whatever, and we'd sit there and throw pieces of strawberries, pieces of lettuce, and then sit there and go back and forth between me and my dad, and eat. And it was just cool. Like, but then died. Sucked. Discouraged me. Don't get discouraged. Get into them. Keep them. Stay up. Get snakes. You'll like it.
Everybody gets snakes.
Right. So this next question is would you rather know the future or go back in the past and tell yourself that one piece of advice?
I think I'd rather know the future. That way you can plan for things ahead of time.
That could be really fun.
Lottery winnings.
Yo, that's where mine goes.
That are coming in the hot market. What's
going to be hot? Yep.
Yep.
What's this? When does the Powerball go off next? Tuesday or no? It's Tuesday. When does it go off? Wednesday? Tomorrow night? What's the numbers going to be tomorrow night? So I could have $1.7 billion or whatever it's going to be. Yep. Like that would just be amazing. If I'd win something like that, like I don't know, I would not be a greedy person. We'll say that. So speaking on that, you won $100 million in the Powerball. How far are you taking these reptiles?
Oh, I'm going all the way. I'm getting the facility. I'm getting hired help to help me. I'm investing in more animals.
Multiplayer's going multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go pretty big too. So you would go whole facility, like, thousands of animals, all mutation creation and stuff.
Yep, just like Billy.
I'd be pretty close to it. I don't know if I would go like thousands, 2,000, 3,000 of ball pythons, but I think I would be more like a Chris from B&S, but having a lot more, because that dude's got so many different types of like snakes. I think I might even just buy him out and be like, all right, teach me from here, like, because he has pine snakes, corn snakes, like,
oh wow,
I don't know, he has 20 different kinds of snakes, like, and I think I'd really like to get into breeding the different, localities, and not venomous, no venom. Like I stay away from venomous, but just the different species would just be crazy. Thanks for coming in, Don. We appreciate it. Yes, 100 species. That's what I would shoot for. Exactly. Next question is, oh no, that $20,000 hatchling you just made is loose in your house. How far are you going to find it?
Oh man, I'm tearing the whole house apart. I had to do that once before. I had a snake get loose once. It was a hatchling, and it had just shed out, and it managed to push itself out of its tub. I don't know how it did it, but it did, and it ended up actually inside one of my homemade racks. And I tore the whole snake room apart, freaking out. And I'm like, oh my god, it could be in the vents. It could be somewhere in the bedroom. Like the dog could have got it. Like, oh my god. I mean, it wasn't a $20,000 snake, but it was still. Ugh.
It's a nightmare. Like, I would definitely be freaking out. Like, I would probably go as far to tear the roof off. I mean, walls would come down, roofs would come off. Like, it would be bad. It would be.
That's
what
I'd be doing, Smay. I'd be taking everything out of the house and throwing it in the yard.
What if it's in that thing and then you just put it in the yard? I would be like sealing all exits off. Nothing is getting outside. No, you ain't leaving. Everyone's got to stay in here until I find it. Like, it would be bad. I would be probably like Hitler. Like, everyone would have to follow every rule that I make until the snake's found, and then I'm back to peaceful, mellow me. But no. All right. Do you feed frozen thawed or do you feed live?
I do a mix of both, but it's mainly live. I produce my own rodents, if you can't hear them squeaking in the background. But it's for me, it's a little bit easier.
For sure.
I have 70 plus animals now, and feeding frozen thawed takes time, a lot of time, and sometimes I don't have that time. So it's easier to just plop the rat in and just watch to make sure that they don't get, the snake doesn't get bit, and then close the tub. But
do you see what I don't know? I have a 10-minute rule, and this works great for me. Like, my snakes are all shy. They won't, a couple of them, the snake won't, or the rat won't even hit the ground, and they got wrapped up. Like, I like those ones because I know they're just, they're going to eat. But some of them will sit there and look at me until I shut the door. And as soon as I shut that drawer, it's just like, squeak. It's just like they won't even look at the rat until I shut the drawer. And I have a 10-minute rule though. I'll stay in there for 10 minutes, and then I open it up in 10 minutes. If it's, of course, eaten, gone, or whatever. But if it's still there climbing around, it comes out, and they don't see another rat until, the following week. That's just how I am. I was going to say, well, I hear that one. Now that you're speaking of these rats, they want to be noticed.
We need screen time.
Right? You want to call us out? We're gonna do something about that.
You're talking about feeding us off. Screw you.
We're gonna mess this all up for you. So, the last question I got for you is, what would you call your biggest mistake so far?
I think it would have to be the time that I forgot a rat in with a snake, and the snake actually got bit up pretty good.
All right.
She's okay now. She survived it. We got her healed up. She doesn't even have scars, but that was now I'm neurotic, and I put tags and stuff and write check on the tubs and stuff, and I'll lay there at night after I fed in bed, and I'll go, okay, did I actually take the rat out of the tubs? And then I'll get up and I'll have to come out and check everybody and double check and triple check.
or you hear a noise that might be a rat, and you're just like, oh, was he hiding? Then you get up. Yes. My most expensive snake, which is a black pastel bamboo ultra male, I don't know if it tried to wrap it up or something, but it got scratch marks on it. It wasn't bite marks. It was just a bunch of scratch marks, and they were surface scratches. It didn't even break the skin. It shed one time and it was gone. But that was enough for me. I mean, I got super lucky that that's all it was. But that was enough for me to be anal about it. And I've seen some horrid pictures.
Mm-hmm.
A week or two ago, I still have it, and I still want to talk about it on the RWO Thursday. I forgot last week, but a friend of mine, he had a friend of his call him up and said, hey, I left the rat in there and went to the store and came back, and look what happened. And this snake's guts is hanging out.
Oh.
It's guts. I was like, what is that hanging out? What is that? It's guts. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? So, yeah. You got to be careful feeding live. You have to watch. Don't ever think you could just walk out, and be gone a half hour and come back and your snake be fine. These ball pythons, they are very timid creatures. If they are scared of something, they're going to roll up to the ball and let that thing just, tear it apart. But you just got to watch. So that's all the regular questions for you. We got about 5 minutes left. So we're going to get through these quickie questions. And if there's anything you want to show, you can show off. Anything you want to talk about, it'll be your time to do so.
Okay.
So first quickie I got is Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Word. BK or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
Okay, so at a family wedding, are you dancing, not dancing, or slow dance only?
Oh, I'm dancing.
Right on.
I'm 3 sheets to the wind dancing my head off.
And I don't even know how to dance, but I'm out there dancing. What's up, Organic Home Buns? Thanks for coming in. Okay, skydiving or to not skydive?
I'm going to say no. I got a big fear of heights.
I'm jumping out doing a backflip, just saying. And the last question, the last quickie that I have for you is, what is one all-time game show that you would love to be a contestant on?
Oh, man.
You have
Growing up, I was always a fan of
Big Brother. See, you're cutting out again. You can, like, we was good all show, and now you're just like, you know, growing up, I was a big fan of. I read your lips. That's the only reason I knew it was Big Brother, because I read your lips. Don't ask me how I did that.
Yeah, yep, it was Big Brother.
I'm glad I was right. All right, so we got about 3 minutes left. Is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to show? Let's see some of that Monarch. I mean, I do like Monarch.
Okay, I'll pull out the 2 Monarchs that I got. I gotta squeeze out
what up, bro?
Whoops. Hang on, I got a bunch of junk in the way. Let's see if I get bit. Junior. Hi. Can I see you?
Sorry, guys. I'm still a little sick, but I'm blowing my nose and coughing all night. I've been muting myself, like, so you wouldn't hear it, but...
We'll see how well this shows. I might have to switch to the green screen. Switch the green screen off. Oh, no, it's showing.
See, I mean, I do like the darkness of the Monarch. Now, is that just a regular Monarch? No hats, no, like, what
this is a pastel Monarch.
All right.
If I can get her head. She's got a really cool head stamp.
That thing looks like it would be an Enchi because of the blown out alien heads. That's just pastel Monarch?
That's just what Monarch does. It blows up the pattern a little bit, and it does the color. You can actually see in hets, like, if they're going to be het or not. Because the hets will have the same, like, blown out alien heads, like you can see here.
Right.
And the hets will have that, too.
Right.
I have a visual, just a plain Monarch. Let me see if I can get him out.
See, I do like that dark color of Monarch. It's, if I would start out, I would have to start from het to het too, but we all got to start somewhere.
This is a Monarch. Hi, buddy.
We have held 10 people all night long. You all rock. That is awesome, especially with starting out with 5 other podcasts on. Like, and we held out 10. That's awesome.
This is a regular Monarch.
Still reminds me of Enchi kind of still, but man, I really like that. You see what I'm talking about? Like the blown out alien heads and even the banding on it?
Yeah. Yeah, I love Monarch. I love the color. I love what it does to the pattern.
I'd have to say I'm definitely a fan of both Monarch and Ultramel. I don't see the argument between the two. Why can't we like both?
I agree. I definitely agree.
I mean, is that maroon? Is it brown? What is it? Who knows? It's Monarch.
I see it more as like a rusty color compared to like the bright purples of Ultramel.
Right. And that's why I like Ultramel, because it can just throw them crazy purples sometimes in some combos. And like when you see purple on a snake, it's just like, oh my God, that's awesome. I don't even like purple, but I like purple on snakes.
And then this can be the last one that I show, but we hatched out a clutch recently of Xanthics, and I've been pretty excited about them.
Were they not like one of the coolest things you've hatched out?
Oh, they're stunning.
I hatched out a 3A clutch, and I got one Xanthic out of it, and that thing as a hatchling is just gorgeous.
They are fire. I'm obsessed, and it's cool because there's variation in all four of them.
Wow.
Like this one has a bit more of a brighter head stamp than two of the other ones do.
Right.
But the other two are more gray. I'm wondering if the dad for this clutch wasn't pastel too, and this is super pastel. But,
right.
Because the other two aren't as bright as this one. But I'm obsessed with how these babies turned out. I couldn't be happier with the last clutch of the year. We only did 4 clutches this year.
Right. Well, my third is in the incubator, and I don't know if another girl is going to lay this year in enough time to cut. I'm hoping at least one more comes with enough time to cut. So this next clutch I got could be the last one. It's my leopard. I don't know. It looks like it threw Grim, so I think it's leopard Grim Clown to mahogany Mojave het clown het hypo. So it should be pretty interesting.
Oof. Yeah, that'll be a really nice clutch.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Grim's there. Well, he sired the one clutch, and I think one's a Grim, and I've been in a lot of Grim sites and the chat pages on Facebook and here and there, and I'm getting a lot of that looks Grim to me, and I'm getting a lot of no, you're crazy. So I'm not really saying it's Grim until this next clutch, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, it might prove out, it might not, but we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But that's the show. We like to keep it at an hour, so maybe in 6 months you want to come back. We don't like to keep people too long. But chat, you guys been great. There's at least been 10 here the whole time, and that's 10 watch hours. That's awesome. That's cool. Lauren, you've been a great guest. I mean, great answers. Anything else you want to say to my audience?
Thanks for having me. It was a good time. I haven't done a live in a long time, and glad I could be on.
Awesome. You're great. To all of you out there, thanks for coming in. We all are crazy. You got that right, Blakers. See y'all.
See ya.